Hey everybody, welcome to the Botch Pit. This is Chris. I'm here with Lenny and Nick.
Hi.
Hello.
And we are going to do something a little different tonight. You see, now it's been as of January 18th.
Has it really?
Yeah, January 18th. Maybe January 22nd, but I think January 18th. It's been a year since we got together as a collective, and some things have changed. Not a crazy amount of things. We've added Jill. Jill's a member of the pit now.
Yep.
Nick is always present. Lenny, 99% present. Brad, 50% present, because Brad skips
That's giving him
every
too
other
much.
week. Brad plays hockey every other Friday. So what I decided to do, and I threw it to the players to see how they felt about it, we started off playing a game that started as Mortal Hunters. Not Hunter the Vigil Hunters, per se, but actual supernatural hunters. And it became a zoo campaign by the end of the night. That's when Viv got, snacked on.
I know
RIP.
when it was.
Huh?
I know that moment.
I do too.
That's the moment that broke my soul.
That's the moment where I felt like a storyteller again.
I am not a smart woman.
No,
That was second
so
session.
good.
Was it?
No,
Oh,
it was the third. I want to say it was the third.
Either
because
way.
we had a little experience being Viv.
Either way, I just remember me falling out of my seat, pissing my pants.
No,
was-
that
yeah,
was
we all lost
that
it.
was definitely the second session. Because remember when I scalped that dude and used zip ties to put my hair back?
Yeah, but I think you did that in the second session. But then in the third session is when you were captured and talking.
Maybe. Regardless, it was one of the first
Towards
three.
the beginning. So I would like to celebrate the year anniversary of the Botch Pit by taking it back to the roots. We've all learned a lot as players, as storytellers, all of us. I had just gotten back to...
I'm back, darling.
Lenny
Oh my God, that
is
is so
shaking his head vivaciously.
Vivacious.
I've learned nothing.
Nick has learned how to do a lot of character creation.
Yep.
Actually, no, that's not true. I have learned something. I've learned how to trigger events to get other players killed.
It's true. That's true. Actually, a couple times, yeah.
I've
Yeah.
learned to accept loss.
So you got Devin turned into a Geist because you got
Yes,
him
I
killed.
did.
You got his Malkavian. Oh, I don't know if it's a spoiler because I don't know if we have the other one up yet.
You can say it. You already started.
Nick's Malkavian, Ian. No, sorry, Voltaire. Based on Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park. Voltaire. Very dead. 35 levels of damage on a 7-level character.
Have you guys seen RoboCop?
He got Murphy'd. Murphy's Law really went into effect on that one, but it was the wrong Murphy. So, I feel like it would be very interesting to go back to a setting that you guys started at and deviated from so quickly and to see how things proceed. How do you
And-
guys feel about that?
Yeah, and I think to start, we should have a year memoriam for every single character
They're
that has
just going to
died.
be all in Nick's character.
Nick, I see a video project in your future.
In the arms of an
Sarah
angel.
McLachlan comes out. She's like, every year, countless characters are lost to poor rolling of the dice.
So many character sheets have been wasted.
Nick's Fizero alone accounts for the 99% fatality rate of New England characters.
Actually, it's 100%. No
No,
other character. Oh, no, nope.
No.
That's right.
This character's kicking, man. This character's kicking. You haven't free. And in fact,
You're more. It's more 90% you, 10% you.
I'm still so angry.
But you know what?
About that.
We can actually technically attribute 100% to that, because the fact that they died is totally Nick's fault.
That's absolutely true.
You know the weight I have to bear on my soul?
Do you want to guess the cares I have?
Every week,
If
I
you
come
actually-
here with my head held down.
If you actually look up
I
Survivor,
remind him like every day. At some point.
if you actually look up Survivor's guilt, you'll just see a picture of Nick.
If Brad was here, he could remind me. But I drank a lot of drinks at like 3:30 in the morning when Nick
In
left.
the
You know what would've been the-
arms.
You know what would have been the best part is if he actually got that on video, and at the end of the memoriam you have random in there.
I do not know how I managed to make my bed and put sheets on. Like, it was not.
And then at the end, after they show your characters, it's just you drunk on the couch, just
Oh, no.
It was
venting.
bad. So I was keeping a break. So Nick was legitimately traumatized by that session. And I was keeping a brave face on because I didn't want him to know how much it bothered me. Like, no, dude, it's okay. No, dude, it's okay. So eventually Nick leaves, and I walk right to the fridge, and I just started
We actually
pounding.
have photographic evidence that actually disproves what you just said about you trying to keep calm. I'm pretty sure we have pictures of you yelling.
That was me keeping calm.
Dad's mad. Dad's mad.
Dad lost his shit.
Dad was very mad.
He was just not going to show his new player how damaged he got as a storyteller.
You know what? You know what it was like, actually? Like, you actually went full dad mode and yelled at one of your kids for breaking something priceless. And you just have
'Cause-
Nick, Brad, and I as the children, and then Brad and I are watching him get yelled at.
All right, you know what it is?
At,
It's like a little kid running around, kicking over a Ming vase, and the kid stubs his toe. He's like, Dad, I stubbed my toe. And it's like the father's Ming vase. He's like, you kicked the Ming vase. Of course you stubbed your toe. You don't know what a Ming vase is?
No.
A vase? A Ming vase?
It's
No,
a
I
very
don't.
expensive vase I can get from Context Clues.
Yeah. It's vases that were made back during the Ming Dynasty. Good God. Are you? Nick has his masters, everyone. Nick has his masters. I expect this out of Lenny. I expect better from you.
I didn't question it. Can I ask you now on tape?
Absolutely.
Now it's completely out in the open.
Oh, God.
Have you ever been disappointed more than that moment
Oh,
in any
absolutely.
tabletopping game
Absolutely.
you've ever played?
Absolutely.
That
yes.
is so that you've been
Yeah.
disappointing more than that.
Well,
Or was
that-
that the
that-
most disappointing?
That was probably the most upset I ever got because it was my characters that were really old characters. But when it comes to being disappointed, oh yeah, man, there's other people that have significantly disappointed me more, both as storytellers, dungeon masters, and players.
Could we get an example?
Oh, damn. You're
No,
on
go
tape?
ahead, Lenny. You first. You can go first.
I was
You
gonna
seem like
say,
you got one.
Yeah, you know a lot about my relationships. You want to see Dyer disappointed.
Very few times have I been disappointed in you. I've just done the head shake. I've been like, come on, man. But not like disappointment. So you want to hear a tragic story about a time I got really disappointed? Or give you some context here.
Well,
Give a
so
bunch of Raptors.
I guess my question is, in terms of myself, that's probably the most time that I felt bad during ever playing a session, or like I was, upset with not myself, but the entire situation.
Okay.
So I guess my question is to you, as on your end, because this is my first. Again, this is my first year of ever playing.
And you've done well, very well.
Any tabletop
Exceeded
scenario.
any of my expectations.
I kind of want to know what yours is.
Like things that I've done that were super stupid, and I've been disappointed in myself.
I guess, or just a story that would kind of fit in this vein. I just want to hear from someone
Well-
who's had how many years is it of experience?
Oh, I started playing when I was 9.
So how many years is that? Do the math.
40. God, 26 years
Okay.
off and on. So I stopped back in 2006. Yeah, I stopped in 2006 and I just went back last January when we got together as a group, which is why I still feel like I'm rusty. So I just need to be clear: disappointed in myself or disappointed in else. Like that's what's going to throw me off.
I guess that was a situation that soul crushed me.
Okay.
Is there a time when?
I'll give you 2 off the top of my head. I get far more. You're gonna have to change this to a different title for this video. This is not gonna be the beginning of the chronicle. This is just musings with the storyteller.
Welcome to hell.
Welcome to hell.
I'll look back at the past year.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. So, the thing that disappoints me most is when people in positions of authority abuse players. So, I tried to. When I was younger, I doubt he's listening to this, but he could be. When I was younger, my friend's family owned a campground up in Maine, Duck Puddle. It's still around. Different ownership, but I highly recommend it. There's still people that used to go there all the time that bought it. When I was younger, I played with my friend's parents owned a campground, and I would just live up there pretty much during the summers. Mikey was there's a bunch of siblings and stuff like that, but I used to play with Mikey. My cousin Jonathan would play. This kid Corey would play. My cousin Eddie. And a couple other people here and there would bounce back and forth. And what I would see a lot that would bother me is I hate when people in positions of the storyteller or dungeon master can ruin the game. But the thing that might be worse than that is someone who's playing the game only because nobody else wants to do something else. Like maybe that one kid's like, I want to go and play capture the flag, but everybody else is like, well, I want to play. Oh my god, I want to play
One child
Dungeons and Dragons, or I mean, back then the first ones we started playing were Star Wars, the D6 system by West End Games, the Marvel Superhero RPG by TSR, and who used to own Dungeons and Dragons, the Face Rip system, and Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition, specifically Ravenloft. And this one kid who played, I'm going to avoid his name. He's actually a really good kid, and he really matured, like, a lot. Corey, I'll say his name. Really cool kid, Corey Burnham. But when he was younger, he used to drive us nuts, because he would tag along.
I'm not going to say his name.
Let me throw him directly into the bus.
I don't give a shit. He would kind of tail around, and he was like, well, we'll play then. We'd play. But he would purposefully try to ruin the game, so that way we wouldn't want to play anymore. And it wasn't like the game you tried to ruin for us, Lenny, where you made it clear, like, I'm pissed, this isn't the game I want to play, I'm fucking with your game. No, he made it look like he was really playing with everybody, but anytime the storyteller would try to do something, he would actively work against it, or try to ruin the game, or get other players killed. So I gave myself an unofficial title called the Reaper, which is where I would play, and if I saw another player being a dick, or ruining the game, I would make it my goal to get rid of that player. And I got really disappointed because doing that taught me how often players will sabotage a game on purpose. Just because they don't like the direction of the game or the game you're playing. Like, we're going to play Marvel today. Well, I want to play Dungeons & Dragons. Well, we don't want to play Dungeons & Dragons. What do you guys all want to play? And then he's just like, well, if I'm going to play, I'm going to try to ruin it. And you see a lot of that. And again, he was like, you know, he was probably like 10 or 11. So he's not, you know, he was young. Wasn't really going to crap on him for it now, especially not now. He's a great person. But when you're all kids, it's annoying. But I know players who stayed like that. Or like if you play, like I used to play White Wolf on AOL, there would be, you know, certain players that would actively target just certain types of other characters. Just because they didn't like the characters as a player. That disappointed me a lot. And I saw a lot of that. And that was like the Wild fucking West, man. There were no storytellers in there. Rooms would have their own rules, but there was no one to moderate it. So people would die left and right. People would ignore the deaths. You'd have to log the death to show other people that character died in case they tried to do some stuff later.
That sounds like such a pain in the ass.
Dude, it was. It was. But also, you will never in your life find a better learning platform than playing a human hunter in an online game where everybody is a vampire or a werewolf.
You know what the best part is? Wasn't Random one of those hunters?
Oh, yeah.
And survived that?
Oh, yeah.
And then he met Nick?
Well, you got to bear in mind. Okay, so let's clarify here.
Don't
Bring
it back.
I sacrificed my characters to keep them alive because I saw how attached to his character Nick is.
Which is dangerous.
Which is very dangerous.
It's dangerous. As soon as you start referring to characters as my character, you're done.
No,
I think it's
no,
dangerous.
no, that's okay. No.
You know what?
There's plenty of people who do that.
I'm actually going to side with Nick on this because there have been plenty of times.
I do not agree, though.
All right, well,
everybody's different.
From a new player perspective,
okay,
I can agree with that because
new players run the risk.
I was going to say, there have been times where you've had plenty of chances to kill Steven or Bartleby. More Steven. And I was like, no. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Well, no. One time.
He wasn't
No. Steve really almost came down to the wire that one time, and I sent you the text message being like, do you want me to keep him alive?
Yeah.
And I actually give you credit for that, because a lot of people be like, nah, man, it's okay. And then he would die, and then people get really, they don't want to play the game anymore. They get butthurt about it.
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
So, you know, that's kind of why, one of the reasons I really enjoy you as a player. Because not only are you new, oh no, the heater's on. It's going to pick up on the sound.
My blood pressure rose twice in the past 2 minutes.
They say on that day his blood pressure went up too. the day the Nick stole Christmas. All right. The thing about you, Nick, is that's kind of the reason, and you didn't even notice I did this. That's part of the reason I took Viv away from you so quickly. I saw how quickly you were throwing yourself behind that character and how addicted to that character you were getting. So I was like, okay, I already got to make him see that there's more than one choice here. And that's why I told you, you can go back to Viv at some point.
Never did.
Try someone else. And no, you still can. But at that point, you were so unaccustomed to character loss.
Yeah.
And Alabaster, when we made him, he was made to be temporary. You already planned on only playing him for a couple sessions. We planned on him having a couple more than he did. Sure. For sure.
Sorry, we still killed the insect queen.
But I sent you that message, and you were like, yeah, fuck it, dude, take him out. You got more attached to Val than you got to Alabaster.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time that stuff happened a couple months ago, you were getting in real life anxiety when Val was in her situation. And I knew that if Val died that night in that situation, the way she was in, when I didn't give you a lot of choices to get her out of it, you were going to be like permanently slanted, I guess is a good term.
Uh-huh.
Because you're still so new as a player. And again, I don't mean that in a negative context at all.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah.
Because at that point, we'd all been playing like
And-
6 or 7 months.
and
And
if
I
I
just bought both books.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say.
The book came in the day after.
Nick, you weren't just emotionally invested in those characters anymore. You were financially invested in those characters.
To an extent, yeah.
You bought books for those characters
Yeah.
specifically. So
Note to self: buy books to keep characters alive.
so you know,
Wait, what about dice?
But-
does that count?
no. But I'll say this. Yeah, you were still very green at the Val time, but I got the desired reaction from you by sacrificing my characters, because you understood that my characters with legitimate history died because you wanted to keep your 6-month-old character. And you took a lesson from it. Even if you didn't mean to at the time, we have you recorded screaming, "It's not fair."
It's not fair.
Like, it's there.
You
Wait,
were on
did
the
we record
council,
that
but we
session?
do not.
Yeah, we recorded that
That was the
session, man.
first
That's
one we recorded.
Session 18.
That's right.
Session 18, baby. In here. I remember all that.
You are on the council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
So,
this is unfair.
it's so good. And I'm just looking at you like, what? But you took the lesson I wanted from you that, and I feel like it broke that childish, addictive personality reflex trait before it could take place. Because if you look at certain players that we all know, they are hopelessly attached to certain characters they have, and if something happened to them, they would like probably not play the game.
Yeah.
And I made sure real quick that you understood the fact, because if I'm willing to get rid of my characters that are 25 years plus like that to save your character, you understand, you go, okay, it's a character. It allows that separation psychologically to take place.
Yeah.
I mean, after all that stuff, you've realized characters are characters. It's okay to get attached, but you're not locked. And there is a very important difference. I mean, you've lost Alabaster. You lost Voltaire. You haven't technically lost Viv or Val.
Val I lost, but was brought back.
Yeah, I mean, I
Several
definitely, I definitely use storyteller privilege to keep her ticking, like blatantly, like.
At this point, I don't know who loves Val more. Or sorry, Viv. You or Nick?
Wait,
I
Viv?
love Nick's version of
I'm sorry.
Viv. No, but I know what you're talking
yeah.
about, but I do
Yeah.
love Nick's version of Viv. She cracks me up. She's nuts. So.
Was it second session you busted out the poor man's Russian accent?
Yeah, because I remember like that's like the first session. You know, as someone who's never played this stuff before, the first session in, I was very hesitant to do anything. So I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
No, horse
Clearly.
shit. No. If we were to go back from the first session, you started in with the Russian accent about an hour and a half in.
Oh, yeah. I guess.
Legit. Legitimately an hour and a
it's
half
funny
in.
too because you and I have had conversations about this plenty of times. Where like I'm like, yeah, Nick was a really good fit for us because like I knew what to expect with Brad, but I mean like I knew you somewhat in passing. Like I consider us friends, but not to like where we are now.
Yeah.
But
You were like friendly acquaintances.
exactly, yeah. But it's hilarious. Like Dyer and I have had this conversation multiple times of like, it literally took you an hour. Once you started busting out that Russian accent and you saw how much we loved it, then you just went ham with it and just went all out.
Part of me thinks that one of your major concerns when you started playing was how you thought other players were going to look at you as a player. I feel like you were concerned about being
little bit.
judged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it's a normal psychological reflex. That's totally normal.
Yeah, and at the same time, like,
We've all been there.
well, yeah, I was gonna say like, I've hung out with Brad and Dyer before, but like you never hung out with Brad or I before that night, so you didn't know like how we were gonna perceive you and stuff like that. In a way, we were kind of strangers to you, but then you saw us like we just don't give a shit. We're just gonna do whatever. And you're like, okay, cool, and then you just busted out the accent. And
Well, a lot of tabletoppers are very elitist. You run into that a lot. You'll see certain tabletoppers, role players that are very much buying into their own nerdy image of being geek kings or queens. It's very interesting to really think about that inner, the super ego that people have when it comes to role playing, like this image they have as
Like
a story.
power gamers? Is that what you're kind of going
Kind
with?
of. No, not even that. Just a lot of role players. Every role player thinks they're the best role player, if that makes sense. I'm sure you've played with other groups by now, Lenny. You've seen it. A lot of other players
Actually,
think they're the best.
you're right, because it was the first time you introduced me to this game. It was Vampire with Johnny and his cousin.
Jeff,
Yeah, because like I kind
good
of
people too.
Yeah, they're really good people, but I've noticed they had an air about them. It also didn't help the fact that it was 99 degrees out and your house was a sauna. Because like I got sick of that game within 10 minutes.
You know what happens? And here's what it is. Tabletop troops, it's a lot of T's, that's some alliteration for you. Tabletop troops tend to be very isolated. You
Yeah.
play with your group and that's it.
Yeah.
And because of that, everybody falls into a certain role. One person's the storyteller. One person's, I don't know, the gun character. Another one's the stealth character. The other one's the stuff that blows stuff up. And the other one's the quirky character,
Yeah.
So you get so used to that. It's kind of like when you play Smash Brothers. You think you're the best
You have your mains.
out of your group.
Yeah.
And then you play someone else from another group and they hand you your ass.
As King K. Rool.
Don't even start. Don't start. And then you play with
you
that
know
other
he's
group.
broken.
You start with that other group, and then you finally start to realize you're not the best. Then you play with another group. You think you're the best, you become top of that group, and the circle repeats. And either you can learn from that and realize that you're just another player.
Circles and patterns.
Circles and patterns. Like, I'm the primary storyteller of the Botch Pit, but I'm not the only storyteller of the Botch Pit. I'm really just a player character. I'm a player that gets to tell rules. That's what the storyteller is. I
Yeah.
give you a story and structure. That's it.
Yeah, and
Otherwise, I'm just a player.
at the same time, you're also like you throw it out to us. It's like, yo, if you ever want to try running your own game, you are more than welcome to.
Oh, yeah. Nick ran 2 sessions, and they were a blast.
Yeah.
They were a blast.
Thank you.
I am actually sad I missed it.
You should be. It was good. And Brad ran a Starfinder game that was
Yeah,
really
he
good.
did. That was
2
good.
sessions.
Not
And
for
they
us
were
though.
good. My character was a disaster. But it was still fun.
Yeah.
So I think you'll see a lot of that elitist attitude, and I think a lot of people that role play. But I think they all role play within their own group. And because of that, you get that air of, I don't want to say superiority, because a lot of them don't mean it or anything like that. They just feel confident that they're an expert at what they do.
And it's funny too, because like I've kind of noticed this, because like I have another group that I play D&D with, and just the entire atmosphere. It like when I come here, I always have fun, no matter how south, even just basic stuff like feeding sessions go.
And it goes south 100%
Oh,
of the
no,
time.
97, because Brad fed once and
Yeah,
managed to
Brad
do it.
actually did a good job last week.
Brad, the best one of the bunch.
God help us. Love you, bud. But no, like when we play a D&D, there's one other player I end up playing with that I don't want to say we end up trying to screw each other over, because that's just
One-upping. Was it a
no.
one-up?
I literally mean screw each other over, like get the other player killed.
Was it because you're both friends and you were just messing around, or was it legit trying to get the other person out of the way?
Literally trying to get them killed because it's funny.
Okay, that's different. That's not the same as like arrogance. That's just being a dick, but it can be funny.
It's just
petty.
yeah.
It's petty.
But like then I'll turn to the rest of the players and play normally. But it's always like, I don't know, when I go there it's kind of like 50-50. It's like, am I gonna have fun? Am I not?
That's,
and it also
that's a bummer.
Well, in my defense, it also depends on work the next day. But,
Of course.
with here we play on weekends, so.
But I gotta say, you're not the only person who feels that way. Sometimes you go into a game, you're like,
Yeah.
man, is this gonna be a good one? Or even when
And,
our
like-
crap's going as bad as it can, even when both of my characters died, a cumulative like 50 years worth of characters I had die,
Always
Yeah.
brings it up.
we still. But I also bring it up because it was still astounding, and it was a good time because it was insane. I've never rolled that high in my life. I've never rolled that high in my life for like anything. Like I should have won trophies for how good my rolls
Achievement
were.
unlocked.
Achievement unlocked. Character fodder.
Against a hunter.
But like that's the thing, and I'm not taking a shot at the DM or anything. Like
No.
he's a really good DM. It's just I think it's the players that you surround yourself with that really makes or break the group. Like,
Actually, no. It's two things.
It's
the
it's
players
story,
they surround themselves
and the
with,
storyteller.
and the storyteller. For
Like
sure.
there are certain points where the DM can have god complex, and it does get annoying.
And again, I'll tell you the truth. Anybody who's ever story told or DM'd, they will, at some point, go through a phase where they think they're just tits. They're just, you know what I mean? Maybe not you, Nick, as an age thing. Typically, though, everybody has those moments. I had them, and I'd be like, if you act like a dick to me, I'm just going to kill your character. You're gonna play the game right, or we're gonna kill your character. You know what I mean? That's sort of. Granted, I was probably like 11 or 12, but it's still, you go through that. It happens because you do, for the first time in your life, have authority and control over other people unquestionably, even if they're fictional people.
Like, see, I think that's the main difference of like why I really enjoy coming here, and kind of walking into my D&D campaign not knowing what the hell is going to happen. It's because I know the DM's going to try and usher us to the next point. You, on the other hand, you literally, you know what, you're like the preschool teacher that gives us crayons. You know it's a risk, and you know there is a good chance we're going to draw all over the walls.
Yeah, and you do.
But you still do it.
Mine says non-washable.
Why do these markers smell funny? What's Sharpay?
I've told... I wouldn't mind doing a series of videos that is like storyteller hints and advice. Mm-hmm. One thing that I'm going to share, and I'll share this again in more depth later, but I really like this approach. Some people think that I'm freewheeling my storytelling approach or my story because things just go south or they go off the rails.
No, it's just your players, and you have to think on your feet.
So the way, and I've told you guys this, I think, the way I tell my story and the way I storytell in general is I have events that I want happen. And the rest, you guys pretty much figure out how to get there. You don't even realize that I'm plotting the events because I know how you play, and I know how to kind of set it up like a speed bump in the middle of the road so you can't avoid it. So, like...
Or like when you have a vision, as you pull up next to the star, he's still pissed about that.
I'm impressed of the level of obliviousness that
I'd
you
like to
displayed
call
that
an
night.
Uber, please.
Oh yeah, there's that one too. No, I was talking about the one that I think it was
I know.
Brad had to escape out of the house.
Actually, though,
Yeah, that's that
Nick,
one.
Lenny, some of the things that you've done have just fucking killed me. You smell blood, don't care. Leaving. He smells like death. Yup. Can I call an Uber?
Are you sure you want to? Yeah.
I can point out karma, though, is that the guy related to that whole scenario is the one that went on to kill Steven. The Duke. He was the one that killed Steven, and you were like, I kind of want him to live. And I was like, okay.
Was it?
It was his troupe. Like, he had 10
No,
vampires.
yes, there were.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was the Duke and the...
I keep calling him Ghost. That's literally all that reminds
I
me
had
of that.
the Duke and it was two names similar to that. I don't know. I can't remember though. But it was
David
those
Bowie.
guys.
David Bowie.
You had that's actually Thin White Duke was exactly what I was going with on that. I could point out that it was very much a Spider-Man moment because if you'd stepped in and done something back at that manor in the first place before you called a friggin' Uber, they wouldn't have been able to show up and lynch you the way they did.
Yeah.
So you brought that on yourself
Oh,
again.
I know.
Which is another one of those things
Oh, no,
where
no, no.
I kind of sit back and I'm like, what did we learn? Like, did we learn anything? And you're like, nope, save me. And I went, okay. Let me
see,
enable you.
That's the thing. Most GMs would have just you made your bed, now sleep in it.
You got to know how high the stakes are going into a game. Vampire, I make it clear it's a high stakes game.
Yes.
I make it clear every session, like, hey, remember, you screw up your toast. So I feel like it's a storyteller's responsibility before the game starts to be like, you know what? Watch your ass. Like, I'm going to make it clear, the game we're about to start is a mortal game. So watch your ass.
I was gonna say, Nick, this is gonna go this is gonna be kind of interesting because
It's not going to be high
All right.
anxiety politics the way Vampire is.
cough cough. No, I was gonna say it's probably be more interesting for me because it's been a while since I played a squishy character. You, on the other end, you've been playing Val. Granted, you haven't played Val in a while, but like still, you know what to expect. I'm probably gonna end up forgetting halfway
I'm going to
through.
flip that, and I'm going to argue with you that you play possibly one of the most squishy characters out of all of them, and allow me to clarify why.
Wait, which game?
In general, Bartleby is the most disposable character that you play.
True.
Because he is a friggin' gangrel nobody who wandered into town serving the... He's
All right,
nobody.
I'll give you that one.
He's just joined the Camarilla. Like, he is nothing. It would... And you're already roped into bad situations on top of that. You're a liability to, like, 3 or 4 different people that are high-ranking at least.
True. But at the same time, I have...
You have what?
Well, I was going to say, the human I'm about to play, it's Bartleby has a strength of 4 and Brawl of, like...
Strength doesn't mean anything when they call Blood Hunt on you.
That is true.
That's
All
what
right,
I
that's
mean.
fair.
Like, you need to switch it and be like, you gotta, instead of thinking of weakness as lack of strength, consider it lack of resources. And strength is a resource.
Okay. All right.
That you
I see
gotta
what
flip
mean.
your mindset on that because look at mages. Squishiest characters you'll ever find.
But if you use them
each
right...
one is like Batman. If they got time to prepare, you're not taking them out.
Yeah.
They're going to take you out with no effort. And God forbid they get like a lock of your hair and they know space. Like, they could just go, I can see you anywhere. So, you got to reverse your mindset the way you're thinking about what's squishy and what's not.
Yeah, and I guess for myself, I just want to ask, what is your favorite moment that's happened this past year? If you were to...
Are we talking... All right.
Uh,
Are we talking comedic, action, drama? What?
Your pick. What part stuck
Oh,
out to you the
man.
most?
If it's not the top, it's up there, is the I'm not a smart woman thing. Because that was... Now, hear me out. Out of everything...
Give context, because that wasn't recorded.
So, Vivian, your beautiful, stunning Russian gold digger, who on the first session, the very end, got seduced and roped in by a Nosferatu and then sired, it became a piss-poor, grotesque monster. She went and because she wanted to be beautiful still, she went and cut off the scalp of women's hair and zip-tied them to her head so she'd have hair. It was just... Anyway, she ended up getting caught by Prince Charlemagne's entourage, I guess would be a good term. And they were pumping her for information. And at this point, Nick had still been kind of reserved as a player. Kind of. Yeah, this is where he reached the point of going all out. From here on, he was just balls out with everything.
I was going to say, that was literally the point of no return for Nick.
So Nick goes, hold on, I need to get a cup of water. And he gets up and he gets a cup of water. And he sits down for a second. He closes his eyes. I remember it clear as day. And in broken Russian, he starts off fake crying. Immediately goes, I am not a smart woman. And just breaks into this thing where she ratted out everybody and everything. She was telling her fucking shoe and bra size by the time they were done. She didn't care. She's like, whatever you want. I am not smart. Do not kill me. I am too beautiful to die. And they're like, you're already dead. You're not beautiful. You're wrong on both accounts. And it was just that moment where I realized I picked and chose my storytelling group. And you were the only one that's an anomaly out of the group. Because at that point, Lenny had already been playing games and tabletopping separate from me. So I knew he had a grasp on it. And he had played once World of Darkness with me, and it was just a bad experience, but I knew it was the experience, not the game.
Yeah.
So I managed to rope him back in. I knew he was fine. Brad, I'm the one that got him started tabletopping by telling him about the stuff that used to happen in my games. And I knew he'd been playing with a couple of friends, even people that I used to play with. So I knew he was fine. I thought you had the right personality. I thought you had the right self-deprecating humor for it, because you have to have that. You have to have a little bit of, willing to make yourself look like an ass. And you had the enthusiasm and the IQ to soak it all in. But I didn't know how quickly you'd put it all together. Because everybody can have the ingredients, but putting it together and pulling it off correctly, that's something else. But that was the moment where I was just like, yeah. Like,
Well,
this was a
thank
good
you.
call. This was a good call.
Thank you. I
I was gonna
appreciate
say,
that.
because like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this to you too. Like, you know, Dyer and I, like, after like something happens in one of our campaigns that usually you know, take control of and just take it in whatever direction.
You're a
we're
great
going.
catalyst.
You really
are a great catalyst.
Point in case last week.
I can just sit back and let shit go, and I know eventually you'll do something.
So like that's the thing. Like, you know, before we started doing this, I really didn't. I know who you were, and like we had conversations before, but never really got to know you. And then like we started playing more and more, and like I knew you had the same sense of humor of all of us. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, he's gonna be a good fit. But then I know the extent of it, and like
We knew you'd be a good fit for hanging out, but we didn't know how you'd be for playing with the group.
yeah. But then that moment happened, and
I think we laughed for 20 minutes straight.
we did. And thank God we didn't record that.
I
'cause you would've-
I wish we had.
It-
I
it's-
desperately
it's
wish we had.
good and bad that we didn't record it. It's good mainly because you would have been editing so much because we would just been laughing the entire time. Nothing constructive would have happened for about a good half hour because we were just laughing so much. It's also bad because
How many
missed out.
how many years did we just say that I've been tabletopping since I was 9? I'm now
25, I think.
35.
Yeah, he said like
So
25.
26? About 20. Yeah, 26.
Dude.
In my 26 years of tabletopping, I have never laughed that hard. And this is coming from a kid who one of the first ways of playing, like one of the first things I did when I was 9 and playing Star Wars is like, my buddy, he's like, well, you have to build your own lightsaber. That's what they do. And I had no materials, but I did have a translator droid. So I took off his gold-plated ass, melted it down, and I made a lightsaber out of that as a housing thing. I needed the metal. So,
That's brutal.
but that's my point. That didn't make me laugh nearly as much. And that was at like 9 or 10 years old as this did as grown men. So that would have to be, if not the top, in the top. I think my other one would be seeing, I mean, this is going to sound really childish and really sappy, but I really like it when a story takes off the right way and I can see how much everybody's enjoying the stuff that's going on. Like, I knew I nailed it with Mr. Sick. Like, Mr. Sick was a hit.
Mr.
Like,
Sick was
people
cool.
liked Mr. Sick. You guys got grossed out real life by my describing Mr. Sick stuff.
Yeah, even Celso was really
Yeah.
grossed out.
And
Celso's reactions are my favorite.
but
they're
Celso's
so over
still
the top.
yeah, Celso's still now, like, even now he'll still talk about it. He'll be like, yeah, I remember Mr. Sick. Like stuff like that. And he's a made up character. Like, he had nothing to do with any Chronicles of Darkness stuff or I was just like making up a gross ass dude. And it stuck. People liked it. So when you pull together a really good story and confuse people, and you really manage to trick them too, like, I don't know, what would you guys say? What are moments you guys have really enjoyed aside from what we've covered?
I mean, there have been a few for me. Like, I gotta say, one of the ones that stand out the most is literally watching you roll for Val. In that whole scenario,
That was my nightmare.
Never in my life have I rolled that well.
but like I just remember because like I'm sitting there like stop.
Yeah, literally you were begging me to stop.
It's like that part of the Simpsons, like stop, he's already
you
dead.
said he's already dead.
But it was
so
just
many zeros.
yeah. Oh man, and like I know it's one of your worst moments, and I'm sorry. I mean I'm kind of
It mentally
demented.
scarred me.
It literally
It really did change you as a
scarred
player.
me.
It did.
Which was part of the goal, but not entirely.
But like just like I was like dumbfounded that like I've been used to our stuff going wrong very fast. But then there was that. Oh my god.
That's a whole new level.
And I knew you're going to want to save Val. Straight up. Cuz like you really love the character. You love playing her and like you really just wanted to
Keep
twist
her going.
Well, I was going to say that and just like see how like bad it could get. Cuz like I was going to say this is kind of leading into one of my other favorite moments was Mumford.
That was mine. That's my favorite moment.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I had literally just come back. I think it was from DC or somewhere.
Mumford.
And literally I come back and you're like, so Val has a pet Wendigo that has no arms and no legs. You walk in and smell it. And then it was from there on, it was like, so this session isn't going to be that serious. Let's see how far we can take it. And sure enough, you end up killing Mumford because you botched the roll.
Yeah,
And
the
like,
best part is you reminded me to check to see.
Yeah,
about
that was the part that was just
You
like
set it up. You're like,
Ugh.
so you had a shotgun in your mouth, right? Like, and you're carrying Mumford. Yeah, don't you need both hands for that? Like, yeah. So
where is it?
What happened when you just started talking then?
No.
Yeah, but you started talking.
No,
Yeah, no, that's what-
no. I checked because like I'm like, so where's the shotgun? You're like, oh, it's in my mouth, and I remember this so vividly. I literally
Jumped up.
looked to
Jumped
Dyer, and I saw his eyes widen because he knew.
I knew where you were going with it.
You
but I was
knew
gonna see if you were really gonna push it.
exactly. And sure enough, I'm like, and you just yelled at me in character, right? And you're like, yeah, I did. I'm like, cool. Do we have to roll to see if the shotgun goes off?
I already had the dice in my hand.
And sure enough,
That was a great moment. That was a great moment.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. What's some aside from what we've talked about? What's
Oh, I
a
wasn't
favorite moment? Of
done.
yours? Oh, sorry.
keep
go ahead.
going, keep
Go ahead,
going.
go ahead, keep going, man. You're good.
jerk.
You can't talk to your storyteller that way. How dare you?
But no, like, this is kind of like an ongoing thing because, like, you know, one of the first things I check for is like right when the audio goes up on the site or in the Google Drive, I always download it.
Lenny is our quality control. He really is. He catches stuff sometimes that we just
Sometimes.
do not. Like
that
two times.
one no.
Oh, he probably. Oh, I mean, a big no.
But like, you know, I'm always listening to in my car when I'm driving, and just going back and like occasionally I'll go back and listen to the older ones too, and it's really cool to see how like the three of us have really, well, mainly you and I, because you know we're still new to this, that we've kind of like grown and like how to put ourselves in that mindset of how to think and how to try to counter Dyer's bullshit sometimes.
And it is some bullshit
So
sometimes.
it's really cool, like and like, you know, just catching you off guard. It's kind of like one of my favorite things about playing. With
I
you
love
as,
getting
as
caught
a,
off
as a
guard
game
too, though.
master. Yeah,
I love it.
like what was it? Last time we played the zoo campaign when Val was right there, and I had a chance to try and kill her, but I didn't. I actually just turned to
You
random.
didn't take the bait. You did not take the bait.
and that literally caught you off guard because
Yep.
you were expecting it.
I
'cause
was absolutely thought you were going to take that
I
opportunity.
have expressed my disdain both to Dyer and to Nick.
And I was fully prepared. I knew exactly what I
Val.
was going to do
Yeah.
if you attacked.
Yeah,
I was
oh, yeah.
prepared all for it. I was like,
You
I'm
were.
going to take this dude out.
Yes, you were.
And you were like, they need help. Let's go. Like, oh,
and I'm
fuck.
like, help me.
He's being a Boy Scout. Shit.
And you're like, shit. All right, fine. But even then, because like
absolutely true.
it was one of my I think it was one of my most badass moments. This is when I took the serpent's fang and just almost cleaved the engineer in half.
You rocked him. He had to run.
And even then,
And it was storyteller privilege. I had him live. Like, it was just, I just need him for later. I was like, that did like 14 or 15 damage. He
Ow.
leaves. In how many pieces? He leaves.
he teleports.
Yeah, it was some bullshit, like, storyteller privilege shit.
If he doesn't leave, he gets cleaved. But even then, like you were trying to bait me with Grant too, and I still didn't take it. Like if you had given me that opportunity when we first started playing,
You would have gone right for it.
Oh, I would have gone either right for Grant or right for Val.
Yep.
And I would have been dead.
Yep.
So it's really cool to see how like we've kind of figured out those moments. Like even like when you think you know what we're gonna do, it's just that one little thing will twist it. You're like, oh shit, okay, huh. Okay, go ahead.
Again, that's part of why I say it's like why you got to plot those milestones. Because as a storyteller or a DM or whatever, you should want your players to catch you off guard. Because it shows they're outsmarting you on a level. And that means that they... Like, when you first start playing, you take all the bait. You're going to take all the bait. You're going to go for it because you think I'm leading you into the story. When really, I'm just leading you into disaster. So... I have to change my story because I think I planned for the worst.
Yeah,
Let's
well,
see.
I
if
mean,
you
you're
guys-
not wrong
and I'm not
in
wrong for
doing so.
But you can see the growth of you guys as players for that.
Yeah. And then I really wish we recorded that one off where I just tanked it. Because, like, Like, it was one of those things. It's like I kind of felt guilty doing, but I was still so pissed at you for telling them what I was gonna play.
It was an accident for the record.
I know it was, but at the same time, angry Lenny was angry. And you know what the worst part about that is?
What?
Totally didn't even use that character.
No.
But like I kind of felt like a dick trying to tank the session. Because I don't want to do that. Like, if you took the time to plan everything out, that's the last thing I want to do.
Well, hold on, though.
Hang on. No. I know we're going to go with this. But at the same time, we were all having really fun. Or, we were all really enjoying ourselves. Like, because, like, I was just coming up with the most creative ways possible to kill people. And even then...
No, at the end. At the end.
Yeah, at the end.
Until then, you were trying to find the most creative ways possible to piss me off.
And it worked.
No, I wasn't mad.
We have pictures.
No.
Okay,
that was towards the end. I was trying to think of what the hell I was gonna do because you did ruin my entire plan. But I was like, I wasn't mad about it because it was fucking hilarious. It was so petty.
It was also that moment too, like where I got the picture of you drinking.
Yeah. For the record, for everybody listening here, this was not Lenny tanking a chronicle or a campaign or a serious story. We were doing a one-off because I had recently just watched Evil Dead, and I just felt like doing something like that. They were even in the woods in a cabin. Like, it was not very original. But Lenny, I had accidentally told the players that Lenny's new character was going to be a demon, and he was like, "What the hell? We said we were going to keep this quiet." And at that point, it was already out of the bag, and he was like, "Well, I don't want to play this game. I want to play my new demon." And I was like, "Well, too bad. We're playing this one tonight."
No.
That's exactly what you were like.
I was not. All right. Well, I won't disagree with that.
But I was childish too because I'm like, well, this is what we're playing. Like, it wasn't.
It was more like, fuck you. No, fuck you.
Exactly what it was. And you were like, well, fuck up your game.
It was stupid, yeah, in hindsight. But you know what? At the same time, I'm glad I was that petty and had that moment of weakness. And thankfully, you were too, because like that entire game, we just spent hours trying to screw the other person over. Like, it got to the point where I actually no, Jason Todd isn't your favorite Robin.
Oh no!
I tried to make your favorite Robin.
You failed and got the wrong
get
Robin.
Him killed. But at the same time, that's probably like one of the most enjoyable experiences we've had playing this game.
Well, let's be clear here. You said at the very beginning, before the game started, you're like, "I'm gonna fuck up your game." And I said, and I was like, let's see you try.
Both our egos were kind of like at a high right there and then, but at the same time, the more we
It wasn't legit ego, it was more or less bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
Yeah, you said legit, like, I'm going to fuck this game up. And I was like, yeah, I fucking try. And because I was like, what are you going to do? You can't ruin my game. And let's be honest. Let's be honest, though. If you've got a storyteller that's kind of a dick or really wants to maintain control, you can't fuck up their game because they can just stop your character from doing anything. Me, I wanted to see what you were going to fucking do to mess up my game if you're saying you're going to do it.
And I could kind of tell you were, like, instigating me on purpose. Because, like, you actually did feel bad in the beginning. Because, like, right when you said, like, oh, you're...
I felt terrible.
No, you actually, like,
I felt
you're
terrible.
demon. You're like...
It was partly my plan to keep it quiet.
Yeah. No, I know. And you actually felt bad. Like, normally, if you had, like really expressed, I'm like, oh, shit, dude, I'm so sorry. I would have been like...
And again, if you had been like, I'm going to fuck up your game, I'd be like, oh man, come on, don't do that. And you would have been like, fine.
I would have backed down.
You were like, I'm going to fuck up your game. And I was like, fuck you, let's see you try. And then you were like, okay.
And you know what the best part is? I literally had to do nothing.
Literally, it's what you did.
You hear them screaming outside. Cool, I'm just going to sit in here.
So the only time you really had a blast, like, you were having fun, but then towards the end, like, I was like, well, fucking, you got corrupted, you're a creature. And at that point, the storyteller's supposed to take control of the creature. But I went, do you want to play as the monster? And you were like, yeah. And then you got to play as the monster. And then you had, like, we ended up having a good time anyway. But that's my point. Clarity and communication. Because if I really cared that much and didn't want you to ruin my story, I could have been like, dude, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
And you would have been like, fine, whatever.
I would have been like, bleh.
And you would have been bitchy for like an hour.
And then
it would have gone an entirely different way. But I can also say for that session, it wouldn't have gone the way it did, which was hilarious.
And I feel like that's where a lot of, how a lot of games can be ruined is like, I know a lot of people take this seriously, and that's fine. You are more than welcome to play your game the way you want to play.
Like, we take Vampire pretty seriously.
We do. But at the same time, we still have fun with it because at the heart of it, we know it's still a game.
It's a game.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I get to... the thing that I want out of every session, or out of playing in general, I want to give you guys a fun story. Like, that's the whole point of it. People think that the storyteller is a position of power. It's not. If anything, I'm more vulnerable than any of you.
Yeah.
Because you're playing.
Oh, we learned that.
Oh, not even character-wise. No, but think of it like this way.
My blood pressure.
Oh my god, that's what we need when we like.
Blood pressure monitors?
Yes!
Good idea. I like it.
Like if we end up doing like.
Let me ask you
video of
this. Who gets hurt the worst when a movie flops?
The director.
I'd say the screenwriter.
I'd
I'd say the person who wrote the story. Nick,
I just said.
Yeah.
what are moments? What's your favorite moment?
We know your least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could be
right?
considered
That's
one
probably
of my
least.
favorite too.
It's my least
One of my most memorable is
Okay.
that. But I think the character development, like seeing how the characters actually progress throughout the whole story, and like,
Hold on, though. I think you're copping out a little bit. Your favorite moment, not your favorite thing.
but no, it comes back to it.
Okay.
It all revolves around this one simple character that we thought was like, oh, look at this dude. He's like nothing, and then he's like, yeah, let's work. I'm gonna fuck up your day. It's the engineer. Like literally, he started out as just like,
Oh, you guys like the engineer that much? That's cool.
Well, no, it's funny because it reminds me of you. It's like it's an angry dad. Like
Angry dad?
when you mention the engineer, like if you mention Charlemagne around us, like that's another huge character in our book. Like
Charlemagne's fun, dude. But no
I'm
one's
just
scared
like-
of Charlemagne.
Yeah, I was
I'm
gonna
like-
say that's the thing.
and he's the big bad.
No, he's
in
not.
One of them, in my opinion, from my
he's not.
Yeah,
Well,
You haven't met
Okay.
the big bad yet.
But no, that's the thing. So like Charlemagne, he's kind of the spearhead, but at the same time, he has the engineer on a leash, or so it seems. And he's kind of, in a way, the game master of that world. He's the brains of the operation. But then you have the engineer. You know what he's like? I'll put it in terms you can kind of. He's the Wesker. At the same time, the engineer's nemesis.
Yeah, so my favorite moment is, the character development of the engineer. Someone who I think we've all underestimated for what he actually is.
Is that a word? Misunderestimated?
I don't know, underestimated.
Okay.
I don't know, whatever.
Well,
it
what's
is.
your favorite engineer moment then?
I think my favorite engineer moment.
Because the cool thing is I don't bring him out all the time.
Whenever you bring him out,
It's never good news.
yeah, it's like end of the world.
I was gonna say, as soon as he gets brought out, all of our collective buttholes just puckered. You'd be like,
Yeah,
fuck.
it terrifies Brad, and it
Yeah, it
terrifies
does.
me now.
It really scares
Like-
the shit out of Brad.
And I think
It's
because
really good.
we both get terrified, Lenny is now terrified of the engineer.
All right, I'm not terrified of him. I've just noticed, like, we were just talking about this when you were upstairs. When we were our last fight, where I, had the one-on-one fight with him, I was kind of approaching that fight stupidly. I knew deep down.
Any fight one-on-one with the engineer is pretty stupid.
Yep, can tell you that.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even be saying that, but I think some of you caught that on by now.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I knew deep down that guy had to have been the engineer. No one knows about all our weaknesses, who we are, what's going on, as much as he does. So, like, when he was like, come on, Wolfie, let's go. That's part of the reason why I was sitting back so long and trying to roll composure checks. So I wouldn't lose my shit and see what would happen. Because I knew I had to have bet him. Then I got that visual confirmation after, I think it was random, like, shot off his mask and his eyes glowed red.
It was the gears. The
Either
small...
way. Then I'm like, shit, all right. I had to be careful before. Now I really need to be careful. So it's you know what he is?
He's the
kind of-
boogeyman.
Well, I was going to say, he's kind of the dope slap that we get. It's like, hey, you're playing dumb. Play smarter.
That's, yeah, very much an incarnation
He's-
of that.
He is angry dad.
He, so...
He the thing about the engineer is that just the development of him, I think it's really cool to see that this guy that was just like, hey, you have to track down this guy because none of us can like find him. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's not gonna be no big deal. It's gonna be some dude. Oh no, oh no,
It's
this
literally
is terrible.
peeling back some of the scariest parts of the World of Darkness.
Yeah,
If anything, you know what I was going to make him at one point? I was looking at it. Slasher.
yeah, he has qualities like it.
Oh, absolutely. For sure. For sure. But I've gone another direction with him. But yeah, there's definitely the potential for it.
Like he's like I said, the only character that I am legitimately like, oh fuck, when he comes out. It's like he's the only one where it's like Charlemagne's like, oh look, Charlemagne, like he's gonna talk very elegantly toward
Yeah,
me.
it's accurate.
And that's all he can really do. And then here's Schneider, who's just this angry.
Schneider, you don't know
dude.
what he is
Very
because
snotty.
he's not a villain.
Yeah, but you also can't depend on him 100%. Even though he has shown dependent, he has proven his way. But like when you say the engineer, like even myself, I'm like, oh fuck no.
Like, stupid as it
And that
sounds,
never happened until like June.
I
like,
think the thing I'm most
Wait,
proud of
yeah.
is even calling him the engineer. Because that's a pretty intimidating sounding name.
Yeah, because like not even that. Like everyone else has a name, and to an extent, we know what they are. Like Charlemagne, we know is a vampire.
no, 100%.
Oh,
No, we do.
sure.
It's
Definitely a vampire.
You're lying to me.
I hate you.
You're lying to my face.
Well, no,
Just so you guys are aware.
no. You said he was the prince of the sea.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So
but I didn't say he's a vampire.
Vampires can, yeah.
all right, that's fair. Okay, but anyways, like we have an idea or a hunch. But granted, knowing you can be like, nope. However, the engineer, we have dealt with that character for almost a year now. We still have no goddamn clue as to what he is or what his weaknesses are.
Or if he has any.
Exactly. And that's what, like, I think we all collectively fear him the most. Like, we've seen him run through us, no problem.
So what you're telling me
level
is
an entire room in front of me while I'm strapped to a chair.
that
Like,
you lost
that
your
was-
knuckle, you lost part of your arm. That was a good session.
Yeah, and like Brad pops out. It's like, here's Brad to say that harpoon to a, oh fuck. Like he popped out. That was one of my favorite. That moment and Odra like bumbling out of the closet are my two favorite moments.
That's one of my most embarrassing moments.
But when Brad jumped out of the portal and it's like gonna save the day, like he looks at the engineer in the
he
first
popped
movie,
out from the underworld, he's like, I'm here, everybody.
and literally he just gets harpooned to the wall instantly, and we're like, oh fuck.
Just so you're aware,
I think
too.
that was one of the sessions I actually had to leave early.
It might be.
Yeah, because I don't remember that.
No,
No, you
'cause
saved
at
me
the
and
end,
took me out.
No, Steven and Trevor at the end tackled the engineer into
Oh, that's
the
right.
underworld.
Went to the underworld. Yeah. No, I did have to leave early at that point because that's why I went into the underworld.
Ah, okay.
But
I just want you all
regardless.
to know, just so you're aware, 100%, the engineer is not the worst I could do.
I know, and that's what's even more terrifying.
But I am happy you guys feel that way about him, though. Like, no
Oh,
joking.
well,
Like, I'm like,
see,
all right,
that's
good.
the thing, because like we know he's methodical, and you can clearly tell he's kind of based off Jigsaw from the Saw series. Kind of.
I guess so. Not
right.
on purpose. But
I know what you mean, but like I can see the
I can see
inspiration
it.
drawn.
I can see it.
From Jigsaw, and the most that has ever been apparent is the night Devin got turned into a Geist.
I need to point out yo, man, that session is my favorite session.
You literally baited that hook and dangled it in front of me, and I just went full blown with that.
Yeah,
and just ripped
yeah,
that
I
hook.
absolutely got you to kill Brad.
And
Brad.
it was like, because like, you know what? Even then, I panicked there too, because I'm like, shit! I run up and try to plug up all the holes, because like he's a specialist. He has, you know.
Yeah, there's just no plugging him up.
Yeah, I know. So it's like even then, like I panicked at that point too, and I had known who did it.
So, you know, kind of hopping on that for a second regarding the past two sessions you just mentioned. One of the biggest things to tackle as a storyteller is the transition from first and second edition games. I know it sounds weird, and you wouldn't have to deal with that part too much.
Yeah.
Nick's starting to get an idea of it, especially where he's looking at Hunter's second edition sheets and he's looking at his first
Yeah.
edition stuff. I get a couple messages here and there, be like, which one's the right one? But it's totally practical because they're near identical with like 2 or 3 differences. Even with the mage character sheets, a lot of the mage ones say Dark Era's mage and mage, so you don't know. But technically, I have to retcon things now because the way Brad got that harpoon through the chest, through the engineer,
killed him.
Brad would be permanently dead regarding Geist Second Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you die the same way, and I mean, you don't get any more the same way than that. That's near identical. You know what I mean? Same guy put him in the position. Same guy put right through the chest. Same situation. Like
He lucked out with the timing then, I guess.
Oh yeah, he'd be totally the same with Trevor though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Trevor got killed the first time by the engineer in a starvation type situation.
That's why the engineer is also equally terrifying, is that everyone can lose against him.
Yep.
Like even the Geist. Like
Yep.
in terms of power levels, like Geist are among the most powerful. And like for us to take him down, like we need to work with both Geists. But will both Geists stand up to the engineer? Because that thing is, they have the chance of actually dying. And then that's
they would stand up to him for sure. Like Devin definitely would. Devin absolutely would. Trevor absolutely would. But the question is, are they going to survive the experience?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's
that's
do they risk it?
Unfortunately,
they would.
I was gonna say, going from the zoo campaign, we've always had that mentality. It's like, cool, you can do that. Well, watch me do this, and like we kind of like work against each other in a way. Whereas with Vampire, we've kind of learned to move as a unit.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah. We really don't have a choice. And I think, and I was telling him, like, I think that's like what you've been trying to instill in us with the engineer is like, we need to work as a team to take down.
Yeah, none of you could do it on your own.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And you've made that abundantly clear with that guy.
Anytime one of you are one-on-one with him, you have lost badly.
Yeah, because I was going to say, well, my last encounter with him
Wasn't one-on-one.
It wasn't. Yeah, I was going to say, because I had help from random. So, I
Interesting.
wasn't about to take all that credit.
Oh, no. I mean, you can have the credit, man. I'm just saying it's one of those things where he's not a character you want to take on one-on-one.
No.
Yeah.
There's only one person who might be able to take on the engineer one-on-one. And you guys aren't going to guess it.
Probably not.
Actually, by me saying that, maybe that gives you a hint.
Alicia? I don't know.
Remember Alicia?
Yeah. My sister, Alicia. And my other sister, Viv. Oh, wow. Who would know who these people are?
That's so
Trevor, I'm looking right at you. Trevor, tell me answers.
I love how everyone looks at Trevor for like Trevor's like my main character at this point, and everybody's constantly looking at Trevor for answers, and he just kind of bullshits it because he's knowledgeable, but he's just like, I don't fucking know, man.
It's like, bitch.
He's like, I got to where I am by dying and then learning in that order.
You know what's funny?
I was an idiot before I died.
It's kind of funny you mentioned that because I kind of noticed that in the last session. Like, normally we used to look to him or Odra. More so Trevor, though. And we are looking at the wrong person. We should be talking to Odra. Yeah, he's definitely more versed in what's going on. But no, I was going to say...
I love Trevor. I love it. I love Odra, though.
That was...
God, I love Odra.
Abundantly... You just love him because he's based off of Hellblazer.
Well, I made him. He's my character.
Yeah,
My favorite part about Trevor is now that from that last session, if what Charlemagne said was true, that Alabaster is his father-in-law, and that he'll just say, "Hey, Trevor," like every like, literally.
But no, like,
Hey, Trevor, you want to come over?
Like, that became abundantly clear that he does not have all the answers when he's sitting there pointing a gun at the engineer on the phone, just going, help, bang, 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 help, for the love of God, help, bang, bang, bang.
The engineer trips over Trevor.
That's pretty accurate. So Trevor was just kind of slacker. What's the term for people that are really smart but just don't do shit? Underachiever. He was this massive underachiever who was just hanging out, and his wife was a badass, but he was just like, all right, cool, she's a badass, I don't gotta do shit. Then they both got captured by the engineer. She got killed. He got killed, but a Geist was there for him, like, hey. And then, and then we haven't talked about Alicia yet. I got plans for Alicia still. Like, you guys still don't know what's up with her.
Nope.
She better help me.
She better help all of us.
So
Sister, help.
when he got, when
I really can't say much for her helping me.
when the Geist pushed back death long enough for Trevor to heal, Trevor was like, I've got to apply myself. And he, went to college for forensic science, all that stuff. He managed to get a role in a police department. He managed to actually get, into, as an analyst at, Guantanamo or some shit like that. He ended up being a federal marshal at the end of it. But it was within the course of 3 or 4 years. And he busted his ass and networked and he cheated because the Geist helped him too. You know what I mean? He didn't have to answer quizzes correctly when the Geist can literally float over and give him the answers. It's hard to miss a shot when a Geist is helping hold your hand. Yeah. He cheated because his whole goal was to track down the engineer. However, he does have the education. He does know all that stuff. And he's smarter only because he's been at this longer than you guys, and he's seen firsthand what it can do. Steve will never be able to get that kind of experience anymore.
Oh, God, no.
Because he can't die as easily as a fleshy person can. Steve's a freaking werewolf. Werewolves don't die easy. Val is already broken.
That is an understatement.
Trevor didn't live long enough to get broken before the Geist saved him. He just fucking died, and the Geist brought him back.
Trevor, will there be a Geist for me? Yeah, sure.
Ravenous Jack's like,
I can see that. He has the goggles on.
He just looks like shrug. He's like,
yeah, sure.
You can do anything you set your mind to.
There's another retcon because Geist, Geist First Edition's like Geist have this culture where they celebrate death and all things. Geist Second Edition's like, there's so fucking few of you. You can't have a culture. There's so little of you. Thanks, Geist, because now it's like Geists are super rare. Here's the Geist. Here's the Geist. Here's the Geist. Thanks.
It's like Oprah of Geists.
Promethean First Edition was like, there's Prometheans around. They're Frankensteins, yay! The second book's like, by the way, only 100 of them exist at a time on Earth in general.
I have a question about Promethean.
I'll try to answer it. Go ahead. I'm learning it now.
Where the hell's the video, Chris?
Don't be a dick.
Hi, I'm Lenny.
Dude, all the second edition books are just so large. That's why I started off with Vampire. Because Vampire, even if it's large, is still Vampire. I can break down clans and covenants. It's not hard. I can break down the culture. Not hard. Mage, that was my bread and butter. I can break most of that down. But you'll notice I haven't done a video for the mechanics yet. Because second edition changed a whole bunch of that again.
Just being a dick to be a dick. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
trigger me.
Strike a nerve.
I'm just triggered. I don't know if anybody's even listening to this.
Probably not.
But a whole bunch of these beginner's guides that I've been doing, I've literally been taking a day or two to burn the book into my head. I'm still new to these, so I am a beginner. I just happen to be an experienced player and storyteller. But that, Nick killed Hunter. That's because these
Nick kills plenty of hunters.
Not what I meant, but yes, true. Originally, if you remember, I said we were going to do 4 videos on each game line. Mm-hmm. We were going to do the lore, unique traits, character creation. I think it was antagonist, perhaps. But I can be honest, for most of these games, they're going to have more than 4 videos.
Yeah.
Realistically. People are already to anybody listening to this, thank you, because that's really cool. You guys are even requesting stuff from us now, and you guys have helped us garner the attention of Onyx Path, and I'm announcing it here. I really haven't said it anywhere else yet. I mean, the crew knows, but we are officially backed by Onyx Path. They want us to play test some stuff. They're sending us stuff, they're sending us supplies to play test. We're working on, They Came From Beneath the Sea.
We're one of the cool kids now.
Yeah, we're actually...
We made it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
We're actually recognized by Onyx Path in an official capacity. So thank you for that. That's really cool.
Yeah, that actually is really
cool. And you guys are requesting stuff from us now. You guys are really getting in at Nick on the Hunter stuff. I've got people talking to me about, the orders for Mage. We love doing this, and we'll keep doing it for as long as you listen.
And it's even cool, too, because, there have been some people that actually have reached out and kind of, I don't want to say give us criticisms, but, it's constructive at
no, we've had one or two. Yeah, we've had one or two, then, but in a positive capacity.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Just, even just getting that small bit of engagement from listeners is really, really cool.
My favorite part is hearing, the connections that people have to these game lines. That's kind of interesting for me.
I'm still bitter that you guys are watching Hunter more than some of the other videos, by the way.
I'm not.
Nick's done one fucking video. And I get it. His sound quality's better. I get it. Did you notice on my last video, I actually waited a couple seconds before I put the audio in after the music? Stole that from you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to continue to steal from you. Again, I'll reiterate, Nick has his master's. And he works at a school for music. So I'm going to steal as much audio technique from him as I can. Y'all can't stop me. I don't know. So 2019 looking very positive. We got Onyx Path has our back. White Wolf, actually, I was one of the people that was tapped to be one of the social media managers for White Wolf at one point. With White Wolf's restructuring and everything that's happening right now, I'm not exactly going to pester them, especially with the fact that Onyx Path is reaching out to us. And I've been in love with Onyx Path's work since, I guess, 2005? 2004, whenever they really got in on the New World of Darkness line. I never thought I was going to prefer the New World of Darkness stuff to the Old World of Darkness stuff, especially considering how hooked on Hunter and Magi Ascension I was. But, I mean, the New World of Darkness line is just, it's so cohesive. And Vampire 5th Edition's great.
It is a gorgeous
V5
book.
is not just it's not just gorgeous, though. It's, in general, it's a fantastic game. So, okay, hold on. Let's be clear here. V5 is great.
Yeah.
I do love V5. But let's be honest. The thing about V5 that is fantastic is the hunger system. I'm serious. If you really think about it.
It is.
Because they have most of the same clans as revised in V20.
Yeah.
They've got most of the same story with a 20-year time jump. And it's a good story. Like, I'm not knocking it, but it's, it's great. But the reason V5 is great is because it has the hunger system. That hunger system is very well done. It's very fun. And I guarantee that if people put the hunger system in Vampire the Requiem, they're going to enjoy Requiem a lot more than they do now.
I think you just love it so much just because it's giving you so much great content.
So many things go wrong with Hunger Dice. And even the successes are called... Well, what are they called?
Bestials.
No, they're called
messy successes.
Messy Criticals. Messy Criticals.
Point in case, go listen to our vampire recordings from last week.
Every session has a failed feeding, with the exception of like 2.
Oh, no. That wasn't just a failed feeding. That
You're
was
talking
a
about
failed everything.
You know what song you should have played if it wasn't a Christmas theme?
What?
Ballroom Blitz.
It was a
then we
dual bestial failure.
We're not monetized.
Right? That's true.
What's that?
Dual bestial failure.
All right, copyright strike.
So, I mean, a lot of the charm is the design of Vampire 5th Edition, but we don't know how Werewolf is going to turn out. We don't know how Mage the Ascension is going to turn out when they make new dice systems for it. If they make new dice systems for it like they did for Vampire. So, I mean, it's kind of a gamble right now on White Wolf. I really hope they get their stuff together. I mean, they got Modiphius. They licensed Vampire over to Modiphius. And apparently, I guess they make Conan, Star Trek. Some good stuff, from what I heard.
So, I know we kind of have to wrap this up, but I kind of figured this is a good way to end it. What do you guys want out of 2019?
As far as gaming goes, or the Botch
Gaming, the pit, anything.
I just want to live, man. That's all I want.
But Lenny wants attainable goals.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Hey, if that's what he wants for a goal, that's fine. We'll give it to him.
We're coming up on New Year's. We're coming up on New Year's, not April Fools.
I just want to have integrity, man.
Nick, I've known you for about 11 years, and I haven't once known you to have integrity.
You're hanging out with us. Okay, how about this? I know that's your main goal. What if you just set a timetable? Just have, like, you don't want to make a new character for 3 months.
Are you saying I should get one of those, like, sand-filled hourglasses and just flip it over?
Yes.
And be like...
Yeah, but you're only going to make it about halfway through before you have to make a new character.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
God.
You know what we should get?
At the very end. Oh, you're just dead.
Nick has not had to make a new character in blank days.
I was going to say, it's like one of those work accident signs.
Yep.
We need to go one
I knew
of
where
those.
you're going with that. I like it.
But realistically, I think something that I want to kind of get out of this is just learning the material a little bit better. I know I'm 10 times better than I was when I started a year ago, but I feel like there's some systems that I still need to get my hands on that I think I'd really appreciate more. Like, for example, like one I definitely want to delve into more is Mage. I think that's,
I'm here for you, baby. Whenever you want to
I think
go down that rabbit hole, baby, I'm here.
I think that would be a ton of fun to get into. As
It
Mage.
is.
That personally. For 2019, at least for like the first few months, my goal is to kind of somewhat learn Mage a little bit better.
All right. Well, if you listen to my beginner's guide, if you use just rotes, Mage is not that complicated. But if you're making your own spells, which is the main point of the game, then it gets a little out there.
Harry, yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Dyer?
Okay. So as far as roleplay goes, I definitely am excited for Geist 2nd Edition. I am like frothing at the mouth for Geist 2nd Edition. I look forward to seeing what new stuff ends up with Kickstarter. I want to see Hunter make it to Kickstarter within the year. I think it's already probably close to it. I know Changeling's hitting press soon. I want to check out I want to see the actual final build of the Came from Beneath the Sea. I'm curious about, now that I've had the conversation with a couple people, I'm curious about Scion and Trinity.
Do you think we'll hear anything from Renegades the Deviant in 2019? That's a game that I'm interested in as well.
Yeah, I am too. But the question is, what are they going to push forward first? Hunter 2nd Edition? And don't forget, Onyx Path still has other IPs that they make.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, Trinity, Scion, that came from Beneath the Sea. Cavaliers of Mars, I believe they make as well. Like, they make a whole bunch of different products. So, I mean, I'm not too hopeful. I'll be pumped. I'm still a little skeptical on the premise, because I haven't heard that much about it, but from what I hear, it's Altered Humans, the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's very it's we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I almost feel like it could be a World of Darkness supplement instead of being its own core.
I know
But
they're.
we'll see what they do with it.
Yeah, I know they're supposed to be direct antagonists of hunters. That's why I'm curious.
Is that what you're hearing? I didn't hear that.
I heard that in terms of power level, they're just barely above hunters.
Oh, power level.
Yeah.
No, some of them are really powerful. That's the whole point.
Really?
Some of them are like 11 from Stranger Things. That's what I saw compared to.
Okay.
I saw another one compared to Venom with symbiotes and stuff like that.
Okay.
I mean, but who knows, dude? Like, again, there's so little information on it. I've looked, and there's just not a lot. So I guess Hunter 2nd Edition, primarily. They're working on Mummy 2nd Edition already, also. And I haven't even cracked the book on Mummy, and I'm gonna have to learn that one too. I heard they're not working on a Beast 2nd Edition, so that's probably good for now. Probably let that sleeping dog lie. Now, as far as the Botch pick goes, I want to continue growing as a information resource. Like, I feel like we're coming a long way, and there's not a lot of people out there that are just blatantly sharing information. Of course, you got Matt Dawkins, obviously, Gentleman Gamer, and you have like Uncle Yo. And aside from that, I have not found any sort of resources like on YouTube or anything like that for people that break down the games or give instructions or helpful hints or tips or stuff like that. So I really I'm happy with the path that we're going down. We started as just being a let's play group, and we're starting to turn into a resource for people, and I love that. I love it. Like, that's something that, I don't know, I've just been playing for so long that it's cool to help people, because when people don't know how to play, they get frustrated, and they leave the games. They just go, they'll put this down and pick up D&D 5e. Like, it's like and I consider that like a drive-through roleplay experience, learning-wise. It's kind of like fast food. You're not going to come across anything new. You know what you're getting. It's kind of like whenever you go to any McDonald's in the country, you know what it's going to taste like. You've never played a D&D game really and been like, oh, wow, this didn't feel like D&D. No, you pretty much know. And, I mean, I started with the AD&D 2nd Edition, which had THACO and all that crap. So, just keep growing, I guess, keep growing as a brand. Help people enjoy the games. Hopefully, maybe we build a community around us that we can communicate with, and we inspire them to play some games that they've never played before. And I mean, and most of all, I get to keep playing with my friends. So, how about you, Lenny? What you want?
Lenny wants vampire. He wants more vampire. Give him
I'm not gonna
vampire.
lie. Part of me, yeah. I mean, obviously, I do want to play vampire just because I love watching you guys squirm.
I don't squirm.
No, obviously not you.
He's talking about the elephant in the room, Nick.
No, Brad too. Brad squirms.
Squirmy Brad.
But no, obviously I'd like to play more vampire, and that's fine. Obviously we can't every week because we have certain players missing, and that's fine.
Jab, 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 stab, stab,
Players
stab.
missing. Certain other ones ready to have nervous breakdowns.
Hey, Jill's missing too.
Oh yeah, but I'm not criticizing her. She's only been here for like 2 sessions.
Yeah, no, she's still got the training wheels on. Anyways,
Training wheels.
Some of us didn't have training wheels. Some of us were thrown into the deep end.
I'd like
Swim.
to actually sit down and dedicate the time to reading Werewolf. Probably not gonna happen, but still. But no, like I kind of want to branch out. I mean, obviously, I love what we do now and the games that we play now. But like Dara said, I'm actually really intrigued by the other IPs that Onyx Path has. So I definitely kind of want to branch out into that too. And like you said, growing as a brand, and eventually kind of get a bigger following, which would be really cool because I feel like D&D has just been the face of tabletop games forever.
Undoubtedly.
And now that it's
Undoubtedly.
like, thanks to Stranger Things, obviously that's taking off, but it's like...
And for the record, before we continue on, nothing against D&D or
Yeah.
D&D players. It is, if it wasn't for D&D, there
a lot of
wouldn't be
these
role
wouldn't
playing.
exist. Yeah,
right now.
exactly. But, like, obviously nothing against D&D. I still play D&D almost every week. But it's definitely catapulted tabletoping into new heights that I don't think it's ever seen. And, thanks to shows like Stranger Things and other, celebrities playing D&D, that people are becoming more interested. And I kind of hope they kind of break away from that. And like Dyer said, there's really nothing except for Matt Dawkins that actually covers a lot of the Chronicles stuff.
Don't forget
and
Uncle
all
Yo.
Excuse me, yes, him too.
And a lot of the things you find are reviews and necessarily like Let's Plays.
Yeah,
but
a lot
not
of
re-
reviews.
Yeah.
But not resources like you're saying.
Exactly, because like
On
even,
a side note, if any other like YouTuber is hearing this or anything like that, and you do this and you play these games, whatever, do not hesitate to reach out to us to talk or collaborate. Or I would love that. Like I'm a nerd for that stuff.
it's true, I'd be getting that text at like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
But no, like I really hope like this is kind of like kickstarting. Like,
I just want to interrupt you to tell you I'm looking at the analytics. We are now officially at over 9,000 minutes worth of watched videos. People have watched over 9,000 minutes of us talking.
that's awesome. Thank you.
That's awesome. It's a lot.
Mine. So it's like because like I got introduced to tabletoping through D&D, and now that I'm like seeing
Really?
like,
Is that where you got introduced to tabletoping? Is that where it happened? Really?
okay, all right, I take that back. This is the first tabletop I actually played.
Get slapped.
D&D was really where it sparked my interest.
Really?
And then I
That's what
came
sparked your
back to this
Get slapped.
and really started to enjoy it more. So I kind of hope like people have that similar experience. Like we have friends that are huge into D&D, and once we started doing this, they wanted to know more about it and
It's
got
true.
hooked on it. Like
true.
Nick was all on board after we played that 100.
Big Nick. Big Nick, if you're listening, we love you, Big Nick.
Miss you, bud.
You're invited to play anytime you're around.
Yes, sir.
Open invitation.
So it's really cool to see people getting that interest.
I'll even set you up to kill one of the members of the pit. It's okay.
Spoilers. Guess who it is?
We don't have to guess at this point.
I'm I'm wearing a red shirt today.
Actually, Nick, you are wearing a red shirt.
I always wear a red
You
shirt.
should. You should.
But yeah, like I kind of want to play like the Star Wars games they used to talk about way back when. Maybe at some point.
We have
Not in
different editions,
2019.
but yeah.
Yeah. Like,
They just
kinda
actually released. It's funny you said that. They actually just released a 30th anniversary edition of the original game from West End Games. I was like, people are still playing this D6 system. That's amazing.
One thing I don't know if it'll happen this 2019, but at some point I'd like to actually run my own game.
Yeah.
Once I feel more confident in it.
Oh
But,
yeah. Another thing you will see this year is you will see us running different games.
Yeah.
You will see Pathfinder, Starfinder, I want to play.
Starfinder I actually really want to go back to.
I think Lenny was talking to me about Call of Cthulhu. He wants us to
Yep.
try.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
Definitely from They Came From Beneath the Sea. Trinity, Scion. I may even try Exalted
That'd be cool.
at some point. So, Brad, what do you want the most out of 2019?
Oh yeah, that's
Riveting,
right.
Intriguing.
All right.
And back off topic.
Bye.
I think we're reining ourselves back in. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, no, I'm actually really glad we had this conversation. It's really cool because we never do stuff like this.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it.
Awesome.
Nick just really wants to play tonight.
Nick was like, "We'll start recording for the roleplay session," and then he was just staring. He's like, "So let me ask you a question. Do you want to play a game?" All right, let's cut it. Let's get out of here so we can start playing. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Nick didn't
Happy
say
New
thank
Year.
you.
Thank you.
He said thank you.